So, check this out, people. I've been watching Rantz. He's one of the few YouTubers that I believe gives out good information as far as the stock market. I don't agree with a lot of the things that he's been saying as far as GNS and these other stocks that are pump and dumps. I agree with him on that. These stocks are pump and dumps. But that doesn't mean that you cannot make money on a pump and dump. Just because a stock is a pump and dump doesn't mean that you can't get in on the pump and get out before the dump. Anyone who talks about holding these stocks, whether GNS, whether AMC, 8, or any other stock, including GME, it doesn't make any sense to me because we've learned that the market is not legit. We've learned that the market is not trustworthy, right? And so anyone who decides to jump into any of these stocks, GNS, Wiser, and any of these stocks that are now pumping because of the hype with Wes Christian and the CEO of GNS, you do not hold on to these stocks. These are not long-term stocks. Nobody on John Wick's Sniping's channel is declaring these stocks to be long-term. We are simply jumping in and jumping out. I've already jumped into GNS again yesterday on John Wick Sniping's channel. I jumped in at $3.75 and then jumped off at $4 plus. These are not long-term plays, people. These are simply tradable stocks for those who want to trade and make fast money. The stock market is about making money, not losing money. And though I agree with Rantz when it comes to these stocks, that we shouldn't hold on to them, we shouldn't invest in them. But the problem that I do have with Rantz is that he's not being unbiased. He's being biased towards every stock other than GME. I understand, Rantz, that people shouldn't buy into these pump stocks. I understand that people shouldn't hold on to these pump stocks because they're going to tank. But the majority of us already know this. As far as I know, nobody is holding on to GNS. I've already jumped in and out of GNS 4 or 5 times and made plenty of money. And I will continue to jump in and out of this stock until all the juice is squeezed out of it. What I don't understand is this, Rantz, is that why is it that when people make money in the stock market, you go on YouTube and you criticize us for making money when the market is about making money, not losing money? And a lot of other YouTubers are jumping on that same bandwagon, criticizing us for making money. It doesn't make any sense to me that you will go on YouTube and make videos about people who are jumping in and out of a stock that's making them thousands and thousands of dollars. That doesn't make any sense to me. Instead of criticizing people for making money, maybe what you should tell those who have no idea how to trade or who are just starting to trade and are new in the trading game or the investment game, instead of telling them not to buy into this stock, not to do this, not to do that. How about you tell them to be careful, to keep an eye on their stocks, on their shares, to be aware of the movement and to be ready to sell before the stock tanks. Because if you watch your stocks and you watch your money and you're smart, you will continue to make money. But to go on YouTube and criticize us, it just doesn't make any sense. It's so ridiculous to me that people who get into the stock market to make money, but then you have people who are also in the stock market criticizing those who are making the money because they're not in the same play as those who are making the money. It's as if though, it's like when you were a kid and you see a kid wearing nice sneakers and you're wearing Skippies and you're hating on that kid for wearing his nice clean Pumas or his Adidas, and so you purposely step on them because you're hating on him. Now, I'm not saying you're hating on anybody, Rantz, because the information that you put out is really good information. I just recently started following you. Maybe it's been less than a month since I've ran into your channel and began to follow you. Because you put out real DD and real stock market information that I believe people should pay attention to. Anyone who's into the market for a long-term investment, I get it. But I still don't understand why you continue to criticize people who jump into these pump and dump stocks so that they can make a quick $500, a quick $1,000, a quick $5,000. Because, for example, just last week on Friday, there were two people who made over $20,000 on John Wick Sniping's channel, jumping in and out of GNS. And if we listen to people like you, with all due respect, Rantz, because again, I respect you and I respect the information that you put out. But if we listen to you, none of us on Thursday and Friday in 24 hours would have made the money that we made, because there's a time for everything. There's a time to live, there's a time to die, there's a time to laugh, there's a time to cry, there's a time to win, and there's a time to lose. And right now, a lot of us are winning. And instead of criticizing us for winning, what you should do, and I'm not telling you what you should do, but this is just my opinion. What I think you should do is encourage those who are coming into the stock market brand new and who don't understand the market. Make them aware that there are certain stocks that you can buy into and hold on to long term, and that there are certain stocks that you can buy into but that you should not hold on to long term. And those stocks that you should hold on to long term, you need to buy into them, or not need to buy into them, but if you do buy into them, you need to sell them off before they dump them. That is what I would tell someone who is coming new into the market and who's in the market to make it, not break it. Because a lot of people in this game have lost money because they don't understand the market. And when they watch you and they hear you constantly downing other stocks, this stock ain't shit, this stock is no good, this stock is gonna lose. How about you tell them how to trade, how to jump in, and how to jump off, and then maybe they'll understand the game. But right now, those on John Wick Sniping's channel, we have what is called the Wrench Crew. We have all been making money. Thursday, Friday, and Monday, which is usually one of the worst days in the market where most stocks tank and do not do well, I jumped into 5 stocks, including Wiser. And I'm up on Wiser, I'm up on GNS, and I'm up on a few other stocks, including BBBY, where I bought puts and calls on that stock. Because there's a certain way to do things, the right way and the wrong way. And there's a certain way to put out information for newcomers, the right way and the wrong way. Because if people want to know how to trade and how to invest, then they need to train themselves. But if they hear people constantly shitting on stocks and not explaining to them why they should jump off if they jump in, all they're gonna do is lose on the opportunities to make money while everyone else is making money. Because right now there are 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 stocks that are squeezing because of all this hype. And sometimes you just have to bend with the trend. If someone says to me, hey, they're giving out $1,000 for a pile of dog shit, you know what I'd be doing? I'd be walking down the street with a broom and a shovel, picking up dog shit all fucking day. Do you think I give a fuck about dog shit? Nobody gives a fuck about dog shit. But if you're gonna give me $1,000 per pile, then I'm gonna walk with a broom and a shovel all day. And maybe these stocks that you're talking about, or that we're talking about, are shitty stocks. But this shit is making us money, and that's what it's about. I appreciate you, Rantz. I like the information you bring out. Keep doing it. And also, I want to send this message out to Frankie Muhammed. Frankie, you are one of the few YouTubers out there still left who I respect. You and Rantz. And my advice to you, Frankie Muhammed, maybe you should come and check out John Wick Sniping's channel, and maybe you have a chance to recover those losses on AMC. I don't know what your plan is. I don't know exactly why or what it is, what reason you have for investment. From what I understand, you want to make life-changing money. We've already learned that that's almost impossible in the stock market, but there is a chance for you and others like you who can make quick money, fast money, big money if you get together with a crew who is actually watching stocks and putting out that information amongst a group of people who are doing DD. So, we got over 100 followers on John Wick Sniping's channel, and every one of us has their own information. For example, someone asked, does anybody know about the stock TRKA? I'm not sure exactly if I'm saying the ticker symbol correctly. TRKA. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody watching this. Because again, I bought into that stock yesterday after one of the followers on JWS's channel had commented if anyone knew about that stock, and John Wick Sniping put it up. It was at 18 cents, maybe 15 cents. I figured, what the heck, I'll put a few $100s in it. I bought 500 shares. It cost me $100. The stock is up now a few pennies, and I'm up. And that's what it's all about. It's about people getting together, everyone having their own information, everyone doing their own DD on their own stocks that not everybody knows about. But when we get together, we share this information, and everybody eats. Everybody eats because we all share our plate. Nobody holds back. And there's nothing better than getting with a group of people who aren't afraid to share, who aren't afraid to speak out on stocks that are pumping, and giving that information out to a group of people that's willing to give it a chance. It's not like we don't know what we're doing. You're not sitting with a group of ignorant AMC followers who are simply holding it to the moon, thinking that if you diamond hand, that you're going to make life-changing money. We know the market doesn't work that way. We know you got to get in and you got to get out. So, people, get your money. It's time that we grow up. It's time that we stop this AMC nonsense. I've noticed that when you go on YouTube, there aren't many AMC Mooners left. Everybody's jumping off the boat. AMC is not going to survive. Every other stock is passing it by and it's being left behind, while everyone else that's riding these other stocks is making money. I'm not saying to hold on to these stocks like GNS. Do not diamond hand this stock. You gotta excuse me, people. I keep biting my face, my tongue, my cheeks, because I have braces and it's making it really difficult for me to talk. But we are not asking anyone to diamond hand these stocks. All we are doing is, within 8 hours, while the market is open, we are jumping in and jumping out before market closing. There are certain patterns that we know are in the market. The stocks tend to dump by 10:30. I call it the 10:30 dump off. It's a pattern. It happens every day. At 2 o'clock, the stocks tend to spike up again. These are algorithms and patterns that I've learned to develop by watching the market, by watching the graphs, and by watching the patterns. And on JWS's channel, we talk about all of these things. We make it easy to get in and we make it easy to get out. Those who want to hold to the moon and lose, go ahead. But those who want to get in and get out and win, come over to JWS's channel. Let's get paid, people, and let's make some money. Get your money.